Alright, so when last we left, I'm not sure Heroes is accurate anymore, but when last we left you guys, you'd found your way into this kind of old ruin that had been kind of reclaimed by, you assume, the cultists, and it's filled with these, like the previously metal corridors, with this kind of dim, like diffuse light on the sides, have been like kind of plastered with bookcases filled with both books and kind of various bones. Some bird skulls, others kind of more human looking.
I got very intimate with one of those bookcases.
You did.
Also, I'm back. Hello.
Yeah. And yeah, you kind of battled your way through a few confrontations in the corridors after encountering one of the cultists arguing with a couple of creatures that you didn't recognise, wearing suits and holding weapons that you'd also never seen before, but quickly demolished. And made your way through. You briefly had issues with a patch of floor with disappearing platforms, which you quickly realised when you step on them, much like on the plateau, they give way and disappear. So two of you, I think, both Reaver and Kruk, nearly fell in, but managed to just grab on by like the fucking skin of their fingernails at that point, and pull themselves back, while Lucifer had drifted over and started getting beat up by a couple of these things without like weapons. They're just kind of like nearly naked, really, like they're just like wearing loincloths, but they seem to be a lot stronger, physically speaking, than the previous ones, and they were just kind of beating the shit out of Lucifer as he hovered in midair. And yeah, you guys kind of finished up after you found there was like a couple of crates, a couple of like white boxes that you managed to pry open, and you found a few weird things, which I haven't got notes for. So if it's on your character sheet, you have them. If it's not, you don't.
I have them.
Cool. Yeah. Meanwhile, you kind of lost Burial at the first fight when she tripped over a bookcase. Only Reaver was perceptive enough to realise that after dodging an attack from one of the energy weapons, she kind of stumbled against a wall and then disappeared. So I think we'll catch up with that first, because you guys are kind of at like a safe place at the moment.
I think I was like relatively at full health, I think.
I don't think you took any damage. I think pretty much Lucifer was the only person that took damage in that fight.
I don't know why.
But yeah. So, let me get my notes up. Fuck me, I forgot how long this paragraph is. Yeah. So, Barry, in the midst of this fight, as you kind of stumbled against the wall, after kind of just dodging out the way of one of these kind of energy bolts that was fired at you, you kind of hit like some sort of switch on the wall, and the panel kind of like slid to the side. You kind of tumbled into this like maintenance shaft, maybe.
Oh wow.
It's kind of this dark corridor. The panel closes behind you, and it is kind of this kind of like metal kind of grating on the floor. You see the kind of long like metal pipes and wires and kind of these blinking lights on the walls. And yeah, you're currently in a little tunnel inside the walls.
I'm assuming for continuity reasons I can't go out the way I came in.
As you try and like bang on the hatch, you can't find like the secret switch or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
You seem to think like either like somehow you activate it on the other side by mistake, or you use something else to activate it. You don't know what happened, but you can't seem to figure out how to open it again.
All right, I guess I start making my way down the tunnel, firebolt in hand.
Cool. So, one of the first things you encounter is this kind of this gap in the floor where you see like the grate has kind of given way. What is your strength score, by the way?
0.
Sorry.
It's a 10.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so I'm not gonna make you make a check for that.
Thank you.
The gap. So the gap is roughly 8 feet across, but the way that long jumps work in D&D, you have a run up. So basically, a long jump is if you are able to move 10 feet or more before you jump, you can jump a number of feet equal to your strength score. So Krook would be able to jump nearly like 20 feet if you wanted to, which would be nuts. You can't jump further than your movement speed, but you're able to clear the gap without with much trouble. If you had a score of 8 or less, you'd have to make a check, and you would have been in trouble if you fell off.
All right. So that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So as you kind of make your way along this corridor, kind of dimly lit by the kind of fire you hold in your hand, wooden hands. I keep forgetting you have wooden hands. You find kind of like you come to this kind of intersection where you see kind of like it branches off to one side and then curves off and goes to another one. But in between there, you see this kind of stack of these kind of white, like grey-white boxes, and on top of which you see this kind of like metal box, like a toolkit kind of thing, with lots of little instruments inside. Some of which like you kind of vaguely recognise as things that you might expect in like someone who does like if you've ever probably like stuff like when you're like making your hands, similar things in terms of like there's a like a wrench to like tighten bolts and stuff.
Tools.
Yeah, basically. But some of those things you don't recognise. And yeah, what do you do?
Can I check and see if there's anything in the crates? Sorry.
Sure.
Whatever they are.
Do you have proficiency with thieves' tools?
I do not, I believe.
Right. In that case, just make a. I guess like a sleight of hand check. Like basically, like these boxes are kind of like sealed, but they're openable. It's whether like how delicately you open them. It's
Okay.
like whether you like pry them open gently, or whether you kick them open and potentially smash the contents.
Right.
Like we did.
Yes, you did that.
That is a 15.
Okay. Yeah. So you managed to. You kind of take out like a small knife or something like that and manage to kind of pry the lids open. There's about 3 of them. One box contains these 3 kind of glass and metal canisters with this kind of livid, like pink liquid in it, which you don't recognise instantly. There is.
I've learned that the colour pink is important though.
It is. There seems to be a lot of the technology around here seems to like run on this stuff. Maybe I don't know. You also find 2 kind of like metal, kind of like thin but like kind of square shaped. You don't know what, but like they've got like kind of like a crystal thing in the middle, and they seem to kind of like have. They look like they interlock in something. You don't know what.
Okay.
There's 2 of those, and there is one kind of. Everything else is quite dusty, and like some of the metal and other bits is kind of corroded. This object, this last one, seems to be pretty much like untouched. It is this kind of metallic, kind of brass gold color, with these lots of like interlocking pieces to it. They can kind of roughly square shape, like roughly a cube, kind of about like a size of an apple, I guess.
All right.
And as you pick it up, you see kind of like faintly, like between the gaps and the interlocking bits, you see kind of like faintly glowing lines. Yeah, that's what you find in the crates.
The second set of objects that I found, can I work out if they are supposed to interlock with this? I'm going to call it an apple.
Okay.
This apple.
They don't appear to. After some like tinkering, whatever these things lock into, they don't seem to be. There's no like compatible holes or anything. They seem to do anything special to the like apple. You don't know what that does. You can actually, if you. What the fuck are skills? Give me a second. Like I've got character sheets here to spare. you can make a Arcana, History, or Investigation check on this object to kind of discern what it is.
I will make.
They will tell you slightly different things.
I'll make an investigation check.
Okay.
But we have to do
13.
this part first before you can kill stuff.
13 plus 3 equals 16.
16. Okay, so kind of like you're mainly like instead of like trying to recall something you might have seen before, you kind of play around with it, and like it's definitely like technological in some way. This isn't like it doesn't seem to be like an everyday object, but you think that like it probably fits into something else, but you don't know what. It's definitely something from the old world though, which makes it kind of relatively rare, I guess.
Can I also try and magically scan it all over?
You can. I think it'll probably be more difficult though.
Okay.
After kind of like setting your head on this kind of
Right.
aspect of it.
16 again.
Okay. And you very vaguely remember, like, in your years of kind of traveling around places, you've heard a few stories in bars, but you kind of think like vaguely remember this might have something to do with like some sort of kind of artifact. You don't know, like you're not sure if it's like general in terms of like it is one, or whether you add it to one. You don't know. It's something to do with an item of some sort though.
Okay.
That is distinct from this thing that you hold.
Can I pick up everything?
Yeah,
Not the crates, but the
Yeah, no, obviously. Like, there's not. You managed to open it pretty delicately. So.
yeah the glass metal things, the interlocking things. I'm going to call them modules. This apple, and also the toolkit. Go take the toolkit.
Yeah.
The toolkit as well.
I've got notes of what that contains, which you probably wouldn't recognise as your character, but you might recognise as a person who knows. Yeah. So what the fuck is that happening?
You can just show me it if you want. You don't have to read it.
I don't have a picture. So
I mean the list.
I'll just list it for you. Basically, there's a wrench, which is made of metal. There is kind of a roll of tape, adhesive tape. There is a kind of like a metal kind of thing that has like an insulated handle with a wire attached to a kind of large block. And there's also a reel of kind of just metal wire. And there's also something else that you don't recognise.
I just call that an old tech
Yeah.
toolbox.
Basically, if you just put down toolbox, I've got this document saved, so I can remind you what that has in it.
And then 3 times
3 times canisters.
3 times canister.
And then 2 of the what you call modules and like 1 what you call an apple. The names are slightly spoilery, so you might figure them out later, but I'm not going to tell you their exact names or properties just yet.
It's fine. I like the idea of just sort of naming things as I go along.
He goes up to the group, guys, I found an apple.
Yeah. It's like Skyrim. I found a perfectly fresh apple inside a druggist's grave.
Guys, nice rosy red.
Yeah.
Alright, so what are you doing after that? Rummaging through the crypts?
Well, there are 2 ways, aren't there?
Yeah. Yeah, basically one seems to kind of like wind off, another one seems to be like you see kind of like a few kind of like wires kind of like littered on the floor and other things that suggest like whoever left the toolbox there probably went down that passage to the left.
I'll probably follow that route then.
Okay. So we'll pick up with that in a second because I don't want to focus too much on one person at a time. So the rest of you guys, the rest of you guys are currently standing over the beheaded corpses of these 2 things after rifling through the crates. I think Lucifer's still floating.
Hell
Because
yeah.
it's been like 10 minutes since you guys got down here. There is still no sign of Burial or Valencia, and you have a corridor up ahead of you. Hang on, let me fucking figure out where you are.
It's not a good thing when the DM doesn't know where you are.
The thing is, I've not made a map. I've like organised it in a list, and yeah, it's not the best. Okay, yeah. So next to you is like there's a short corridor and then a door. So one of the first doors you've seen. Like most of these corridors have been just like corridors. You don't know why they're arranged that way, but they seem deliberately kind of awkward to get around.
Can I listen at the door?
Make a perception check.
Sounds good. 15... 20. No, wait. 21.
Around that.
You kind of listen at the door and like you maybe think you can make out something like very, very distant echoing, but there doesn't seem to be anything in the next immediate room, or maybe even the room after that. It seems to be kind of eerily silent other than that.
Team? Hello.
Can we go through this door? Can we open it?
It doesn't have a door handle.
When does Kruks go through using the door handle? You did try and kick the... what was it, like the...
The box.
Yeah.
How sturdy is this door?
I mean, it appears to be made out of like probably metal, but
I don't think I can kick it down or anything.
probably not. Lucifer, what are you up to at this point?
Lucifer's just
Looking
sat
at my
on giggling in a
crystal.
notebook.
Just looking at my prison like, ooh.
Okay.
You still got your crystal?
Yeah.
He does, yeah.
Sitting down.
I've got some mystery liquid you can drink.
They found a
Fucking pour it over the crystal.
Funnily enough, when you said that he found the pink liquid, my brain went, I could make Lucifer try and drink it.
I think you guys have some of it as well. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
we do.
Canister.
Yeah, you've got some canister. I think you've also got some like the cartridge things.
I know something was broken, but I can't remember what it was. There was a little black box or something.
I think maybe a black box, and also I think you shattered one of the vials. There was like syringes
Yeah.
of like green liquid, which I think you broke a couple of those. I think you've only got one, maybe two. I can't remember. Yeah, you don't know what those are. However, I will tell you that in D&D rules, some DMs aren't as nice, but the rules as written say that most liquids, like if it's a potion, you only need to like dip your finger in and taste it a little bit, and you can figure out what it does. However, it's not a potion. You're drinking what the fuck, like whatever, pretty much. So
It's in a syringe. I don't think I'm going to drink it to figure out what it is.
yeah, you don't know.
I will.
Just taste it and figure out it's poison.
I really want him to drink the pink liquid.
Yeah. Are you floating, Lucifer, or are you kind of like you touch down again, or
No, I'm floating. Like, is this fair? Come on.
okay? Are you trying to like do anything with the crystal, or are you just kind of like looking at it?
Would it be useful to do an Arcana check?
You can try.
Would I have another, like, mushroom sequence?
You have no idea.
You don't know until you do it.
Exactly, that's why I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna
That's
do?
why I was wondering, will that happen if you drink the pink liquid?
Do we have any
Bad
pink
things.
liquid?
You do. It's in a sealed canister though.
So we can't... So can we
Just
crack open the seal or no? Is it sealed, like, magically or something?
It doesn't. Well, you don't know. Valencia will be able to tell you because you can. Humans can smell like a metallic smell when they're near magic items, but you don't have any way of telling whether it's magic or not.
I thought you just like straight up poison.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be kind of like it's difficult to guess what it is. It's in this kind of like kind of metal canister, quite slim, kind of like Pritt stick in diameter, but like about twice as long.
Could
As
we
a
like
reference
look at
point.
one of the canisters and just like try and see if she can like pull one of the ends off without spilling it everywhere?
Make an investigation check.
I'm scared now. Stop rolling off the table. Eight. No, yeah, no. Am I using the dodgy dice? I can't tell. Is that a 9 or? That's a 9, isn't it?
Where's the dot?
On the under the curly bit.
That's a 9 then.
That's 9 now. 9, 11.
Okay, so you kind of like try and like kind of pull it. You try and like screw bits, and like it doesn't seem to budge, unfortunately. But as you kind of shake it around, you do see like the liquid does seem to kind of like effervesce and kind of get brighter momentarily. So
That's it. Let's not do that. It's a good idea to make loose kits. Push on the door. See if it opens.
Lucifer, how far away from the door are you? Corridor's about 10 feet long. It's not very big.
2 feet.
Okay. So
Just flying, like handing at it.
yeah, so like as you kind of reach for the door, like you realise there's like this kind of crystalline like panel on the side of the wall, but like as Lucifer kind of like flails at the door, probably still holding the crystal, it kind of lights up briefly, and then like the door kind of like you this kind of you hear this kind of hissing of air as it kind of raises directly upwards when Lucifer comes close.
Alrighty then. I'm just gonna walk in.
I'm the chosen one.
Because Lucifer's flowing, she's gonna like hold his like sleeve and like drag him with her.
Yeah.
Like
He's like a
keep on.
balloon.
Like we're going in. Come on.
Yeah, so you come into a room, which it's a pretty small room. It's like maybe 10 by 10 foot most. You see kind of like there's this kind of like dusty old table in the middle with a couple of chairs, and like there's like playing cards on the top, but you don't really recognise they're not the kind of playing cards you've seen before. And like 3 kind of large metallic objects, clearly mechanical in some way, kind of like dormant at 2 corners of the room, one kind of roughly central.
I want to take the playing cards.
All right. You have a deck of playing cards now with numerals and suits you don't recognise, but they are also playing cards.
Do the scoop.
Rock, don't do electric avenue.
It's got to the point now where I'm having that much stuff, I have to write it on a separate piece of paper.
That's what notebooks are for. Right, so you're there. Okay. Alright. Yeah, so from this room there are like another 2 doors. Both of them are similarly closed. One kind of has like a symbol above it that it's kind of like yellow with like a triangle and like a symbol in the middle, and you don't know what that means. But the other one seems to be it has another symbol that's kind of like smaller, but like you can't really discern what the fuck that means. So you have a choice of 2 doors.
I want to go and play with the mechanical things that are in the room.
Okay. I guess yeah, like investigation check or arcana check.
I'd do investigation because I'm sure Reba like wants to see if she can turn it on and like make it hers.
Yeah, if you have proficiency in Tinker's tools, I will give you advantage.
I do not.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Nice. Okay. So kind of like probably with like your crowbar, because like you can see a lot of these things you don't want to get your hands stuck in. But like you kind of like go up to one of them, and you see this kind of like panel with a few dials on it. And these things are like quite like there's obviously like a large kind of like tank thing. with several pipes kind of coming out of it. And like there's definitely like moving parts in there, like there's these like kind of like cogs, like large gears, and kind of like pistons, and you kind of like poke around at some of the dials and
Totally know what I'm doing.
kind of like you basically like trial and error, like not quite concussive maintenance, but like just kind of like fucking around with things till it works.
Poke it till it works.
This is like whole minute where I'm just gathering all these different pets.
Yeah, you realize that like some of the gears have like rusted together. You use your crowbar to kind of like pry them into motion, and you see kind of like briefly there's kind of like loud clanking as the piston starts to move briefly, but nothing else seems to happen. Then you realize there is a kind of next to the panel on the side. There is kind of a separate kind of block with these kind of three kind of circular holes in the top that have kind of like and behind them you see these kind of like things that you can pull back and forth that seem to have like caps on the top. But yeah, you're not entirely sure what this is. This is like kind of unlike anything you've ever seen. But like you think that firstly something's probably supposed to go in those holes, and secondly moving the piston does something that doesn't seem to affect this room. But
Does the hole look like the crystal? Of the crystal shape?
not Lucifer's crystal, no.
You ain't stealing my crystal.
I will take that crystal from you.
Make,
I did it
Try it,
before.
bitch.
make an intelligence check. Just like a flat intelligence check.
Without it rolling off the table. 6.
Yeah, no, you don't realize what's going on.
Yeah.
You're like something needs to go in there. I don't know what though.
You've got my eye on you.
I think I just forgot what might need to go in it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What's everyone else doing?
We were just using a crowbar to fix something. She doesn't know what it is.
Give bean.
Give bean, please.
What are you up to?
I don't really know what a group can do with that, to be honest with you.
Punch it.
I don't think it's going to do much good. To be honest.
No.
Punch it. It has insulted your honour
By not being someone you can fight.
Yes.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that.
He's just upset he can't find anyone, so he's just punching a wall.
Yeah, I'll just say I'm punching a wall. Myself.
Make a strength check to see if you punch hard enough to hurt yourself.
Oh my god. He
Sure.
just breaks his whole hand.
I think I might have.
Oh, fuck's sake.
That is.
What is the strength?
Is it that one?
Yeah, it's
Sure.
plus strength.
21. I think I hurt myself up.
Yeah. What is your what's the damage you do on an unarmed strike?
Oh my god, fuck's
I'm
sake.
not raging anymore.
Not so
I think
good.
it's just plus your strength, isn't it?
Yeah, so it'll be 5.
Take half of 5 damage, so take 3 damage.
Sure.
We just hit Kruks.
We're gonna round up in this case.
Owie.
Usually you round down, but we're gonna round up in this
That's
case.
almost all health of a level 1
Yeah.
wizard.
I want to actually go ahead and make an arcana check of the freaking prism.
Okay. You can use intelligence or charisma if you want.
Charisma plus 6, baby.
Scheiße.
That's unnatural 20.
Nice. Okay. So as you kind of like hold this crystal up, and you kind of gaze intently at it, and you kind of try and like focus your will on whatever this thing is, and like after a few seconds of trying, you think you're about to give up when you kind of feel.
If there's a sentient being somewhere in this crystal, it is going to regret it.
Just, hello.
No. So you kind of like reach out, and after a few minutes, you feel something connect back.
Is this how I get my tentacle baby?
Christ.
It's a tiny octopus scared for its life.
But yeah, as you kind of like you feel this connection, and suddenly you're kind of similar to before. You're kind of your mind is kind of taken away from your present place, and kind of again you are on this kind of flat plane of water, this kind of like inch thick maybe, kind of slightly tinged, same color as the crystal, this kind of like pinkish red. The sky similarly kind of like arcs upwards in this kind of starry void that stretches from kind of like this kind of bright purple at the horizon to a deep blue.
I will say, for the sake of the podcast, it's kind of like Kingdom Hearts 3 Final World, but it's nighttime.
I know what that is, but sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so like this kind of like, unlike before where things were off in the distance in the landscape, this seems to be completely barren. But as you kind of turn to your side, you see this kind of canine figure, this like jet black, apart from these glowing.
So when you said you'd have another acid trip.
Yeah, he's
This
not
is
wrong.
it.
This is what I was kind of thinking.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot more kind of vaporwave, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I think the sky's pink.
But yeah, you kind of see this kind of canine figure kind of sat next to you, kind of comes up to your shoulder in height.
Hello, friend.
Very lean, like jet black fur. These kind of their eyes are kind of like fully this kind of magenta color. They don't seem to be affected by kind of. They don't seem to like. They don't cast a shadow, and they've got this kind of faint, kind of halo of light around their head that kind of outlines them.
It's Anubis.
Not quite, although well, you know what that is for one.
I know.
But yeah, no, you as you're kind of like, oh shit, there's a dog here. This
The dog's like, oh shit, you again.
Hello.
it doesn't speak, and you don't really like hear like words as such, but you kind of like get the sense that it's conveying meaning like non-verbally, kind of like it. You kind of get like this kind of flash of understanding in your mind of it's kind of muddled, to be honest, but this sense that like whatever like this thing is, it's also connected to something else, and the crystal which you still have in this kind of dream scape is connected to something bigger too, and it kind of like it kind of sends you like kind of brief visions, like more fleeting than so that you can retain your sanity, but like
What sanity?
Yeah, I was about to say I'm a bit insane.
Of kind of like probably what your imagination of your current patron is. So whatever Lucifer thinks Cthulhu looks like, that's what you see briefly, and you kind of get the sense that like it understands kind of like your pact in terms of what like your connection to this being is, but it's also kind of like you get a sense it's like it's offering you like a similar deal.
So this entire acid trip is just the crystal trying to convert Lucifer.
Kind of, yeah. Like unlike
You become a warlock of drugs.
Hell yeah. That would be amazing.
yeah, it kind of you get flashbacks to the like the dream that you had before, where you kind of like reaching for that kind of giant version of this crystal that you had, as it was corrupted and you were kind of restrained, and eventually kind of you don't know like killed or like put to sleep by these things that were restraining you, and it kind of it's difficult to explain non-verbally, weirdly enough, because this is not a thing that speaks, but so I'm trying to pass what the fuck is going to convert to you. But yeah, you kind of get a sense that like
He just starts miming shit, and I'm like, whoa, well, right, 2 words.
it barely moves. Like that, you don't see kind of like the fall and like raise of like it breathing. It doesn't seem to do much other than like kind of like very subtle head movements. But you get the sense that like it knows you have a patron, but potentially there are ways that they could potentially help you more, and also you get the sense that it needs your help potentially. But it also tells you
This is the wrong person to be talking to.
I was about to say like, yes, understandable.
Yeah, it basically gives you the sense that like, much like any pact, there is the option to both. There is the option to gain rage power. Obviously, that's like kind of part and parcel of these deals, but it also comes with a potential cost, and kind of as that kind of comes to the fore of your mind, you see kind of like off on the horizon a familiar silhouette of the kind of black kind of mass that chased you before. And you get the sense that whilst these two beings are linked, they are not friends in any sense of the word. But making a pact with this creature could potentially leave you vulnerable to the other.
What if I make a pact with the other creature?
I mean, you can do.
Oh, for
Yeah.
God's sake.
Like,
So you got Dog Boy.
Dog Boy or Massive Darkness Boy.
Yeah.
Poppers or scary big thing that's
Dark.
coming out the water.
Darkness.
Make an insight check.
Okay. Okay, I'm +4.
In the like real world, like
That's a
like,
fucking 11.
does Lucifer just like fall over and die?
Just burial, like however far away in itself. I'm not sure what's going on right now, but I know that Lucifer's on a drug trip.
Yeah. So you guys don't this kind of whole passes like an instant. This isn't happening in real time. Like this happens like in a split second in
Yeah.
Lucifer's mind.
I just gasp and you're like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah. So yeah,
Sky Poppy.
even with that kind of low insight, you kind of get the sense that like whilst this creature in front of you isn't like, cosmically speaking, is not good aligned. It's kind of neutral. But the creature on the horizon is definitely evil.
I was about to say, to
Kind
be
of.
fair,
Kind of tell.
yeah, you can kind of tell. Like,
Even at this distance, and you think it like you're not sure if this is because of the crystal or because of like just itself, but it has this kind of oppressive kind of. It seems like you can already feel it trying to like kind of like trying to like oppress you and trying to kind of make you smaller than you feel you are.
I was about to say, like, Lucifer's not like aligned with anything. He's chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
So he could either go either way, and I'm just like, what the fuck would he do?
I know. None of
Like,
them.
he might do none of them because, like, at the same time, he's just like, yeah, fucking dog, like, fucking, what have you done for me? But at the same time, it's like, if he could see all this shit, and he's like, for some reason, he'd just think it's another way to just be like, okay, so I'll help this guy out, and then I'll get some shit. Or he's just bad shit insane, and he's just like, I'll just do this because it'll make a good story.
It's up to you, man. Like,
It's fun.
Yeah, because it's a good time.
you see, like even as the other thing is approaching, the kind of like the jackal kind of like cocks its head, and you see these kind of these three kind of pedestals rise up out of the ground.
It does the confused dog thing.
We see like it seems doesn't seem confused. It seems to kind of like being just a kind of like
Yeah,
trying to get your
not
attention.
Like, pick someone, pick
Yeah,
something.
do it.
And like
What are the pedestals? Is
On
there
each of
anything
them-
on them?
on each of them there's kind of this what's the fucking word? I guess they're probably more accurate as a lectern. They kind of like, but instead of books they have these three kind of small kind of sigils. One is kind of like this. You see this kind of like eye, this kind of like kind of reptilian eye with a kind of like split down the middle, split by, but the iris is instead a sword.
Sword.
The central one is kind of feels familiar to you, and that kind of has kind of that one similarly has an eye. This one kind of more kind of muddled in the middle and seems to have kind of like tendrils like coming out from the center. And then the third one seems to be once again an eye, but this one has kind of this square kind of halo with this kind of like radiant points of light coming out of it. And it seems to kind of like be giving you a choice here.
I was about to say, can I point to like each one slowly and just see his reaction?
It doesn't seem to react, but make. I'm not sure what check this would be. Like you kind of like trying to feel the vibe.
Yeah, just like
It's basically
feeling the vibe, guy.
Ow,
Oops, sorry.
you stabbed me like with pencil.
I'm sorry.
I would say because it's kind of like your
Make a vibe check.
make a vibe check,
Yeah.
which is an insight check using your charisma, I guess.
So I'm using charisma.
Yeah, because this is like they feel kind of oddly familiar to you.
That's a 11. Wait, no, it's 6, so it's a 13.
Okay, so yeah, no, you kind of like kind of point to each of them, and instead of like you initially you kind of like turn to try and get the thing's kind of reaction to it, but instead you kind of like feel the general kind of presence of each of them, and after kind of moving your hand towards each of them, you kind of get the gist that like potentially what this thing's offering is to change your pact potentially. So either and you don't get the sense that each of these is necessarily a different patron, although they could be. They are also other forms that your pact could take. You see, one's like the middle one seems the most familiar to you. That kind of conveys like it's the same stuff, but maybe a different person. The one with the kind of the sword through the eye, kind of you kind of get the feeling of kind of like maybe you can like channel will through potentially a weapon. And then the other one with the kind of radiance around it had this kind of not necessarily like holy but celestial kind of feel to it. This kind of otherness that isn't necessarily alien.
So bad Valencia's not in this.
I was about to say, I think I'm gonna go with the middle one solely because not because it could.
Tactical Sky Daddy!
Yeah, not because of that. It's more because I think Lucifer, in this like scary ass situation, it's one thing that's familiar. It's the one thing that is just like, oh, okay, that's the thing that I kinda know. So the one on the left, it seems kind of boring to him. And the one on the right, it scares him because it's a halo and there's shit all around it. And it's like, whoa, it's a bright light.
Yeah. So yeah, so you as you reach out for the middle one, you see the two other kind of pillars kind of drop back into the floor. And as you kind of reach out to the central one, the kind of stone splits into three. One of them has kind of the middle one has kind of this a sigil that like you know to be the sigil of your patron, your current one. Another one has kind of this kind of white diamond in it, kind of with this silhouette of you recognise instantly the silhouette of this jackal creature, and the other one has this kind of similar kind of diamond shape with these kind of horns coming out of this hole in the center.
Oh, for God's sake.
Fuck's sake. I think, like, Lucifer's... I want to say that he would want to help, but that's just me as a whole. I'd want to help him, but this is a thing where I'm playing as a different character, I'm playing as a different person, and I'm playing as someone who's fucking insane. So he wouldn't really see a benefit in helping anyone. He really wouldn't. He'd just be like, okay.
You could roll a dice if you want.
Yeah, just
Look at it this way. Would it be interesting?
I think so, to be fair.
Then do it. That's kind of
That's
how
the
I
point,
played
like-
my most
Oh god.
It is a choice. There doesn't seem to be like, basically like what the sense of what you've picked is that you retain your current retinue of abilities.
Yeah.
Those stay the same, but you have Cthulhu is an odd patron because it's one of the few patrons that doesn't really talk to you.
Yeah.
Like you've talked to like other people in other cults. Like you've kind of been around and you've also talked to clerics and you kind of like other people with connections to these kind of other dimensional entities tend to like not have conversations, but they get sent dreams and stuff like that. Cthulhu just kind of like
He's kind of there.
is indifferent
So
to your
basically,
existence.
Lucifer could pick the jackal one, just so he could have a chat.
I mean, he could pick either. That's the thing. Like you see the the Cthulhu one in the middle is like raised separate to the other two. Like, well, what's the split? The other two seem to be like kind of the demon what made most sense was they feel like the two sides of the same coin, but they're both in opposition of each other.
So I'm guessing the horns one's the guy behind it.
It's trying
Yeah,
to kill you.
as it gets closer, you do see this kind of like roiling figure, probably like 10 feet tall. These large kind of protruding angular horns, and it kind of like both this creature and the jackal in front of you, like are kind of like they're kind of black to the extent like they're not black in terms of like reflecting light. They're black in terms of they feel like a hole in the landscape.
I think at this point, just because like I'm playing the character, I'm just going to be like, I'd feel like it's a fucking challenge. I'd feel like he's actually towering over me to see what I'd fucking do, and I'm just like, you know what, you bastard, let's go. So Jackal, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I also like to note that Lisa has +6 in intimidation.
So it's just
Fair
like, you know what, you bastard, let's go,
Fucking
and he's
what?
like, oh shit.
But yeah. So as you touch the kind of the jackal sigil, the kind of like this the stone under your touch kind of shines, and you see the Cthulhu part of it disintegrates, and then the other one, which you upon touching it, you suddenly get the knowledge of, I guess the translation into common of these two names. The jackal and judgment is the other one.
Judgment.
And judgment kind of briefly flares this kind of livid kind of purple, but then eventually also cracks and falls away, and you see kind of like it's like judgment picks up speed and tries to kind of reach you, and you see up above you as the stars kind of like start to spin and kind of spiral inwards, and this kind of point of light kind of comes down and hits the crystal in your hands, and you're back in the room.
All right, okay.
I will let you know what that means in a bit.
All right, cool.
Um,
Just like, hi guys, so, fucking jackal.
I'm talking to my popper baby again. What?
Sorry, who are you?
It's like, what?
but yeah.
Okay.
So we're probably gonna cut back to Beryl real quick because I've been doing. I know it's a bit like single person, but I kind of like to balance it a little bit so that you guys aren't all sitting here for 3 hours doing nothing. I'll get around to you two in a second. All right, so you go to the left.
Like
the
when it's
left.
like, I'm just messing with a machine and you're just punching a wall.
Following the wires and such.
Yeah. So as like it's a short corridor, and it kind of ends like you see this. Either side of the corridor, there's like the kind of panels in the wall, which kind of like with exposed wiring that seemed to like be, they were probably under maintenance, but they seem like unfinished in terms of like they need to be fixed.
Okay.
But next to you, the thing that catches your the most attention is that you see that there was like a metal panel here, but like someone has like cut and like with your knowledge of fire, probably melted through like in a like they cut like around it jaggedly, and you see on the floor in front of you this kind of panel that's been cut out.
Knowledge of fire.
And quickly make an intelligence check for me, because see if you connect the dots.
14.
Okay, there's probably enough to like with your kind of previous 2 like decent rolls on the investigation of the Arcana, you think that like the thing that you didn't recognize probably did this. Like whatever it is, it seems to be able to cut through metal without a blade.
The one connected to a block.
Not the one connecting to a block, a different one. The one that you just didn't recognize at all.
Okay.
Which seems to be, now you see it, it's like a handheld thing with like a canister in the bottom, and kind of like a trigger and like a little thing. It's a blowtorch. Well, a blowtorch, a plasma cutter, more accurately.
Plasma cutter.
You wouldn't know that name, but that's what it is.
Fire
I just think of the thing from Dead Space.
I'm thinking it's a fire cutter.
I've actually not played Dead Space, so I don't know. But yes, it's the classic like plasma arc, kind of like goggles on, fucking don't blind yourself. Kind of yeah, but on the other side, you kind of see the room beyond is a lot brighter. And it's probably about kind of like 10 feet across in each direction. But with kind of like where before you were kind of like in a kind of narrow corridor filled with wires and pipes and kind of metal grating, this room is kind of just like roughly cut stone on the walls. And you see in like one of the top corners there is a hole in the ceiling where you see like a tree growing out of it, and you can see up to the sky. Like it's not quite directly clear. There's like a little bit of snow that's blown in. But this room is not only significantly colder, but also like brighter. And dominating the middle of the room is this big kind of monolith, which is kind of like this chiseled, flat, polished stone, where other things in the room are kind of like covered in dirt or snow or dust. This is pristine. And you see it's engraved with a number of runes, and it's kind of set into this kind of metal, you don't know what, like this kind of plinth that kind of holds the stone around it, and on that, in the centre of that metal bit below it, is another larger rune that seems to be like the etching is filled with this kind of fuchsia red kind of crystalline material. It kind of has the texture of jade almost.
Okay.
Like this kind of polished stone, but it kind of glows very, very dimly. And as you kind of walk into the room, you see kind of off in the corner next to this kind of thing is a desiccated skeleton lying in the corner, which you see kind of like around them is there's a few similar tools to the ones you found in the toolbox.
Alright. Sorry, just giving him something. Alright. First I'm gonna investigate the skeleton.
Okay, make an
I'll work
investigation
out.
check.
20!
Nice. Okay, so
That'd be 23.
cool.
If that changes anything at all.
No, I mean, like net 20, like regardless of what you get, it's gonna be pretty good. So yeah, and like immediately, like you realise this thing has been dead a long time. Like this isn't like a recent corpse. Like whoever died here has been dead for like at least 100 years, maybe longer. You're surprised that like with this like open to the sky, they have decayed more, to be honest.
Alright.
But like, and immediately aside from the tools that you see kind of like one of the things that just seems preserved, whilst some of the tools are rusted or like broken over time. There is one kind of like band around their arm. This kind of metal band with. Hang on, I need to find the description for this, but it has this kind of clear crystal that kind of pokes out the center of it around this metal plate. and it kind of like hangs loosely from his arm, or its arm, I guess. Ooh.
Right.
Drop my phone. Where is the name of this thing? Oh yeah. You don't know the name of this thing. I'm not going to tell you yet.
Okay.
But
Fuck you.
it's there. It exists.
I guess I'm taking the fancy crystal band then.
I'll see if I've read a better description of it in the other folder that I got it in. Give me a second. Where is it? Yeah, that's the. I didn't take much time on this description, to be honest. Yeah, this small metal band has a clear crystal embedded on one side. That's my description of it
Okay.
that I've got here. You have that now, which I will at some point in the future let you know what that is. But not today. Well, maybe today. Who knows? We'll see how far you get.
I'm just making a cache of all the tech.
It does seem It does seem to have like. It does seem to be some sort of technology. That's something you.
Oh, can I Arcana?
Yeah, sure.
Can I Arcana it?
After you've already taken it off the deck,
Yeah. 7.
Yeah, you don't know what this does.
All right. Next thing, monolith. Can I investigate it?
I would say make a history check.
Okay.
Because like the monolith's like pretty plain. There's nothing like super like detailed about it apart from like the inscriptions. It's more like figuring out what the fuck this would be.
All right. 18.
Okay, so you definitely think this is. So you recall now like the name of the language. This is what this rune text is. It's in a language called Relistran, which is kind of the equivalent of Common to the people of the Old World. Very few people nowadays speak it because it's literally a dead language. The people that spoke it died out over 1,000 years ago. But if you could find someone to translate it, or if you had a spell to kind of, like for example, tongues or comprehend languages, you might be able to decipher what it says. But at the moment, you don't have much comprehension of that language because you've not been exposed to it very much.
Okay. Can I also do an investigation on it?
You can do, but you won't find anything. I'll tell you that now.
Fair enough. Arcana?
Sure.
I'm trying to work out if this is anything more than a big rock. 6. No, not 6. 8.
And you think like maybe like whatever like the glowing rune is, like that's probably magical, but you don't know what it is.
Alright.
Other than that, like you don't know like the monolith doesn't seem to have any significance beyond like some recording of information. You don't know if it's like technological or whether it's some sort of religious thing or whether it's just telling like us like a parable. You don't know.
Okay.
But it's only etched on one side of the monolith, which is facing towards you.
Right.
Is
So I know there's the way I came in. Is there anything else in the room?
It seems to be pretty much empty. Like the only thing that you can, pretty much the only thing there is a tree which kind of grows out. Like you can see the roots kind of like digging into the rock floor in the room, which is kind of like covered in moss in some places. But other than that, it kind of like reaches out of the skylight, and that's about it.
Alright.
You don't know how the guy died or why, but there doesn't seem to be any cause of death in the room. If there was, it may well have decayed by now. But yeah.
Alright. If there's not really much I can do, get us back out into the tunnel and... Actually, can I have a look at the panels? Not the panels that have been taken off the wall, I mean.
Okay. Yeah, sure, make an investigation check.
16.
You're not exactly sure what they're for, but they definitely seem to be some part of, like, there's some kind of back end of this system. Like, pretty much the only things that you've seen so far, because you weren't there with the disappearing panels in the other room, is the lift and the lights that come on the walls, and also the panel that opened when you touched it.
Oh yeah.
You think that, like, you recognise that it's probably more complex than you can understand at the moment with your limited knowledge of old world tech, but it seems to, whatever this kind of thing is, it seems to be part of the system that powers this facility, whatever it is.
Okay.
That's pretty much all you can get.
Okay, I'm going to leave it alone then and keep going down the tunnel.
Alright, we're going to pause there and switch back again. What are you guys doing after Lucifer comes out of his trip?
I will say before we continue, do people want a break? Because it is a bit warm in this room.
To you guys?
Is it?
You need the toilet
Is
or
it?
anything. So and also
I'm
so we
fine.
can eat more pizza.
We could do, yeah. It's up to you guys.
I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah. People got a toilet and all that.
And let's just,
I shall pause it.
was-
We have drinks. We've been toilet. We've had pizza.
Yes. Alright, so what are you lot up to in this room full of machines?
So we seen any was there any reaction from?
You probably saw like the crystal like flash briefly, and similarly you probably saw kind of like you saw like very I probably only really noticed this because of the high past perception, but there was a brief fleeting kind of flash in Lucifer's irises that kind of shone kind of like magenta for a second. But other than that, you see no visible change, other than him go, oh shit. He's still floating, so.
Hell
we
yeah.
like try and take the crystal off him again.
No!
Seeing that again, it's like, oh, something happened.
Are you actually trying to take the crystal from him?
Yes.
Okay. Make, I guess Lucifer make a strength check. Reaver make a sleight of hand check.
Can I react to this or not?
That's the strength check.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Can I know anything about this?
Oh.
Why would you want to do something?
You're currently mashing hands against a wall.
Good point.
That's a 10.
I got 6.
Okay, yeah. So like,
Thank you.
you see Reaver go whoop, and you go no.
No.
I've learned from last time. No.
But yeah.
I was gonna fucking.
I like how Veryl's having like this little adventure. He's had an acid trip and we're just like fucking around.
I would have fucking lightning blowed you to the floor. Fight me. Right now. It's mine.
Could we even just like push Lucifer so he like goes up to the ceiling? Just like whoop.
It's not difficult. You can, however, with the levitate, you can will yourself to go up and down. That's the thing with levitate. You can go up and down, but you can't just go sideways
Yeah,
without
yeah.
pushing. So if she wants to push you up, you're going to come back
Yeah,
down again.
exactly. This fucks up.
It was just as he was like doing that, it's just like okay, go away.
What's your past perception, by the way?
Passive perception.
14, isn't it?
12.
Okay, that is just enough
Oh,
to spot. So as you kind of get pushed to the scene, you notice like the signs again, and you come to the sudden like weird like odd realization you can read them now when you couldn't before.
Okay.
Which is bizarre. To you. You don't even know the language that they're written in, but one of the signs, the one with like the yellow triangle, is labeled Crucible, and the other one is labeled Antechamber.
Okay. Where the fuck would we go?
Well, I'm still running through the vents. I'm not doing what you guys are doing.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, where the fuck should we go? Crook, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
What we doing?
Well, there's not so as much we can do. So it's just like we can't go through the door.
Well,
We haven't tried.
Yeah, exactly.
You just walked in like, oh, there's doors.
He had an acid
Stay.
trip. Reaver tackled it. You're punching a wall.
Yeah.
But we've not actually done the thing the DM probably wants us to do, and that's try the fucking doors.
Choices are up to you guys. Like, you know what the fuck you want.
So what can we use the doors to maybe open
For make an intelligence check.
it? Right.
Reaver sort of just like looks at Lucifer. It's like,
I just wonder if Kruk comes to the same realization.
I'm guessing not with the technique an unnatural 0.
Wow.
He hasn't got a fucking
Yeah,
clue.
What the fuck even is a door?
it's like,
Well,
it's just like,
no, Kruk doesn't know because he tries to walk through them all the time.
It's
doesn't
true.
he? So-
It's canonical now. Kruk has never encountered a door.
what is this, a door?
Yeah. Not only does he not like use doors conventionally, but these don't look like regular doors. So he's like, that's just a wall that moves. We can't move a wall.
Brain just like mind blown.
Yeah, he doesn't have a fucking clue what to do.
Yeah. No, Reaver, like, it's not difficult to kind of like you've seen it a few times now. Whenever like Lucifer brings the crystal close to things, they seem to turn on.
So can I just fucking
Just
throw
like
it at
drag him to the door, and it's like, Crystal, hold it up.
Alright, as you do, they're kind of similar, like both the doors have the same kind of like crystal display on the side. And as you bring the kind of crystal within like a couple of feet of it, the panel lights up, and kind of like you see kind of like the door kind of open again. This one seems a little less stiff. Which door are you opening, by the way?
That's a good point.
I just dragged you between the panel, you pick the door.
It's fucking the guys team.
No team.
Fucking work.
No team.
Well, the antechamber sounds fun.
Fuck you, Crucible.
Okay. Give me a second.
Give me a second.
Yeah. Alright, cool. So, you...
Also, this was supposed to be 160, you only charged me 120.
Nice. Yeah, so you enter this room, and instantly you notice the room is a lot bigger, and you see the kind of like the lights kind of flicker on as you enter the room. These kind of diffuse white like crystals on the ceiling seems to like kind of embedded in the roof turn on as you reveal the room, and you see the door kind of opens up onto this metal gangway with these kind of like metal railings and this kind of grate on as the kind of pathway. Either sides there seems to be a drop. There seems to be the gangway goes like through the middle and around a central large kind of spherical object with two large pipes coming out the bottom and the top. And you can also see a gangway going around the edges of the room as well. But there's also a separate path that kind of goes in and curves around the middle and goes out the other side. Below
Excuse
you
me.
is kind of like this deep. You don't know how far it goes, but kind of towards the center, you can just like barely see this kind of like dim orange light that seems to kind of emanate from around the central pipe that drops down. And other than that, you kind of the walls kind of disappear after about like 30 or so feet from your vision. The room's not that bright, and dark vision doesn't let you see much further.
None of us have dark vision.
I was about to say.
Oh no, you do you?
Oh
Well, Ariel does.
Yes.
I don't know why.
Why am I the one holding up bloody fire then?
Comfort.
Yeah.
It feels nice.
Also, even Burial forgets that she has dark vision.
There's one dragon one had dark vision. I could be wrong.
Might be
Probably
normal ones.
I always assume more races have dark vision than they usually do, because it was like I played a number of campaigns where I was the only human who couldn't see in the dark. So, yeah. So yeah, what are you guys gonna do? Carrying a big room with a big old thing in the middle.
I want to see if there's anything in the room that's dangerous.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Hope so.
I actually missed it.
Damn it.
Well, I didn't actually hear what you said.
I hope so. No, I said
Right.
it is something dangerous.
Fair.
15 plus 6. So,
21. Nice. Okay, so you kind of
You
scout
all
around the
die.
room, and you see kind of like above you there's like more kind of gangways. This one doesn't like go to the central pipe though. And you look around. There doesn't seem to be anything dangerous in this room, but you do hear through. There's another door on the opposite side of the room, and through that you could hear kind of distant voices. You can't quite make out what they're saying from here though. If you can even understand what language they're speaking. But yeah, through the center of the room there seems to be like as you kind of like walk around looking at things, you can kind of see like up next to some of the like upper kind of gangways, you see these kind of like windows, these glass windows with something like beyond them, but you can't see much into those rooms. They're not lit. But as kind of like your eyes adjust to the kind of the new lighting, you see that like around the railing in the middle, there's kind of a series of kind of like knobs and dials and levers and stuff that kind of surround the central kind of like sphere, this crucible, with kind of pipes and wires leading from these kind of panels into this into the sphere. What are you guys up to?
So, is there anything that we could, I don't know, on this big, what's it called, the crucible? Is that what it's called?
That's what Lucifer called it.
Right,
Crucible.
crucible. So is there anything that we can press on it?
Yeah, there's a bunch of buttons.
I'll go cruising, coming and pressing buttons.
You press wrong buttons.
Give me a second.
Just imagine it.
I was about to say, like, we can like tell where the voices are coming from.
They're coming from behind the door, but you don't know other than that.
Need to get higher than that.
Okay, so you kind of like mash around on like the panel on one of them. Nothing happens, so you kind of move on to the next one. And after like a bit of kind of like just kind of bashing away at the, like pulling the levers, like turning the dials, like punching the buttons, and kind of flicking the switches. After a few seconds, you kind of see some of like the life kind of comes back into this whatever this thing is. But like you see kind of like this these two arms kind of come down from the top and detach the central kind of pipe. You kind of hear this hissing. You see lots of steam escape from the central bit, and as you're standing next to it, you can feel this heat emanating from this crucible. As the pipe kind of gets raised up, and you can hear kind of scratching coming from within this chamber.
Have you just unleashed the boss?
I hope so.
Remember when that lady showed us like the thing that we're supposed to get and like not use?
What was it? I don't remember that.
The crystal thing that he's got. Or it looks like
Yeah. I'm sure we'll use it. Right, so...
Fuck off, it's my crystal.
So we can hear something from inside it?
Yeah, you can hear kind of this kind of scratching.
I would like to know that Reaver is still stood near the doorway.
Yeah.
How do we...
Same.
Is there a way we can just open
Just like
it?
holding you like a balloon.
Well, it is open now. It's like you can see the top of it like is just pumping out steam. You see this kind of dim kind of orange red light kind of spilling out, and you kind of the room like noticeably becomes hotter as you do that. Like whatever like this crucible's made out of seems to be shielding a lot of whatever's the heat from whatever's inside.
Burial?
Huh?
Burials in there.
It said heat. Like hot. I was like, alright.
Just heat instantly.
Burial. Can I have a look at what's in there?
It's kind of you'd have to climb onto the railings and like try and peer in to do that.
How do you know he doesn't want to do that?
It is Krug.
Are you going to do that?
I feel it's like drag me down or some shit, whatever is there.
Well, you smashed the freaking console.
Yeah, so basically, to give you a visual representation, so imagine like the top of this
Visual representation for us, not the audio listeners.
Yeah, obviously. It's visual, not audio. So like this.
God, guys.
So this kind of like that's kind of the top of the crucible.
Yes.
You're kind of like my hand is kind of like the gangplank. You're kind of like around there.
Yes.
The panels on it, and then the pipe kind of goes off like that. You currently taken off the pipe that goes up,
Right.
and now you're currently standing here, peering in or trying to peer in.
Yeah, I'll look over the rails.
All right.
I've got an
You'll have to climb up. So make an athletics check. Though that shouldn't be difficult for you.
Nope. 19.
Yeah. You easily kind of like hop up onto the railing and peer over, and you instantly you're kind of like blasted with this kind of hot air. Make a perception check. Six.
Fuck's sake.
You can't really make out what's what's making the scratching thing, but you can see like the movement there. Give me a second, I need to look some stuff up.
The thing that's going to kill you.
See, Kruk isn't stupid, he's just getting really, really pissed off.
Yeah,
So he's not falling
It
anything
becomes irrational
Yeah,
when he's angry.
yeah. It's been about half an hour since he's
Because it's my Ganassi thing, can I just cast Levitate on Kruk and bring him
I don't-
back down?
Thing you can only do on you.
You can do it once per day, and it's on yourself.
Yeah, fair
God, I
enough.
don't want that.
Just fucking get it down.
Give me a second. I wasn't expecting you to open this, so that's fun. What the fuck was that?
Nothing good.
Someone on the other side of the wall.
Someone's fucking having a fight.
Okay, let's go.
Alright, so I'm gonna quickly make.
I like how every time I put on the channel, the YouTube channel, to upload these, it comes up with the thing at the top saying like we changed our thing now and like you have to say whether these are for kids or not. I'm like, no.
Not for kids.
It's automatically set no for a reason.
Otherwise we get fined 40 grand by copper.
Alright, so.
Like no. Like go away, I've already set you to no.
I'm going to borrow some thematically coloured dice. Give me a second.
This is one of the ones that you got from that shop, isn't it?
Nope.
Where'd you get this one from?
I just got this one from the Inspire thing.
Alright, so. Krook, what is your stealth bonus?
Surprisingly, +1.
Okay,
I
so
thought it would be minus.
passive's 11, that's good to know. Okay, so. Alright, that one definitely doesn't make cool.
How many are there?
I like that nature's -1 as well. I don't give a shit about nature.
Good animal handling there.
No button.
Which hasn't come up once yet.
Give me a second. Yeah. Alright, cool. Right, so as you kind of like poke your head in, you hear some like the scratching gets noticeably closer, and like through the steam, you think you see a face.
God.
Oh, Jesus.
As you're kind of like it comes right up next to you, and yeah, it's gonna make an attack against you.
Oh, of course it is. What does this thing look like?
You're the one
What the
that
hell?
wants to.
Yeah, I know. I want to know what I'm fighting here.
Give me a second.
It sounds pretty spooky.
I'm guessing a 10 doesn't hit.
No.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you see like as you see this face in the steam, you see this kind of claw that seems to be kind of like made out of this solidified mist kind of sweep out at you, but you kind of duck back and kind of jump off the railings. And with that, I would like you to roll initiative.
Oh, for God's sake.
Good.
All of us are just them.
You three, not Burial. This is not kind of time synced up.
Cheers.
You had to go and do shit, didn't you, Kruk?
Yep.
1!
Natural 1.
Alpha, where's the initiative bonus? Which one gives you a
Dex bonus.
Dex bonus? A 6 then. You got.
2.
No, don't you have the +1 initiative?
Yeah.
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 2.
I got 6.
Right, okay.
I has 2.
Where the fuck am I
What have you got?
2. 2.
13.
15.
Just.
So,
Let's retrieve my stationery.
In general, our initiative rolls are all pretty bad, aren't they?
Because you're never expecting a fight. Despite
Exactly.
you look for one, you never expect to find one.
I think I wasn't expecting it, to be honest, because I was looking in there for
looking at it going, there's someone in there to fight, hello!
Hang on, let me just check the decks of these things.
Going.
I'm looking forward to this.
Wasn't expecting that, sure. Alright, so that is. And then. So what did you get, Crook?
I got a 6.
Reaver?
15.
Okay, cool. What's your dexterity bonus? Because another one of these things also rolled a 15. Okay, you go first.
Yay!
Lucifer?
2.
Oh boy.
Oh.
What is your dex bonus?
1.
Okay, you're going first.
What? Okay.
Not the entire initiative, but first before this.
I was about to say, how low did everyone have to roll?
Wait, well, we just both roll higher than you.
No, I meant for the MS.
Oh,
Because
right,
I'm going
okay.
before the MS.
Ah, I see.
Because apparently him and an enemy rolled the same.
Yeah. Locally low. I hope the burial can hear some of this.
I'm just hearing like rough screams.
Reaver shouting at Kruks,
Yeah,
like, what the fuck have you done?
Also, there's likely a good reason that those, well, whatever this thing is inside there. Probably a good reason.
Yeah, you've let it out.
Yeah.
If we all die now, it's your fault.
A bit.
A bit!
At least I won't die.
No,
Okay.
if you're gonna die,
Barry will be fine.
Reaver, it's your turn first.
She is going to run up to the control panel that he was hitting and figure out how to shut it.
Oh, don't!
Yeah! Common sense!
Alright, make a investigation check.
Oh, shit. 4.
Yeah. You're kind of like desperately like flicking all the controls, nothing seems to be working. You're kind of like panicking, like, oh shit, what the fuck's going on?
That's all I can do. That's all I can think of doing.
Also, that's your action. To mash about on the keyboard.
Bonus action, shout at Kruks, going, what the fuck have you done?
That's a free action.
Can like
I'm surrounded by idiots.
back off near the door again.
Kruks not an idiot, he's just pissed off.
What's the intelligence again?
My intelligence mine is 1, it's my lowest stat.
It's just saying.
It's not that low, it's only 8. It's not super low.
Lower than average.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
it's not an average, that's why I'm -1, but it's not like we got 3.
Alright, so the thing that Kruks saw coming out of the crucible seems to be made of steam. The thing that comes out now, you see kind of like this kind of small kind of clawed hand, kind of this kind of flaming kind of molten hand claws up. You can see kind of smoke and steam kind of evaporating off.
You won't be able to hit it, you'll fucking melt your hands off. What the fuck were you thinking?
I'm sure it'll be fine.
And as it,
We're
as it
the only
comes
ones that
out,
will be able to hit it. If it even takes damage.
As it kind of
Alright.
You
claws its way
dumb motherfucker.
Well, what
you
we
see,
do?
you see this. You see it kind of spreads its kind of molten wings as it steps out.
We're fighting the Balrog.
It's you.
We're fighting the Balrog, is that what we're fighting?
It's much smaller.
And much more at least we're actually doing this. We're like, what the fuck?
This kind of impish-looking kind of magma creature kind of flies out of the thing and tries to attack you.
Attack him. I did nothing.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought we were more fucked when you said like it was made out of steam. That would have been worrying. That would have been more worrying than it being made out of
It's
fire.
made out of fucking lava, pretty
We'll
much.
be alright.
You won't be able to hit it.
Sure I will.
You will hurt yourself.
I was able to hit a Shadow Master.
Alright.
It wasn't damaging you whilst you was trying to hit it. It didn't take physical damage.
Kruk,
This shit hits you when you hit it.
Yes.
make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, God. Right. Is it sort of
Fucking
D20 this
nope.
isn't it? Saving throws?
Yeah.
Right.
You have +1.
Yeah, I'm sure it'd be fine. No.
Ooh, that one. Yeah. So you're like, what the fuck is this? As you see this creature come out, it kind of like inhales and then just breathes flames over you.
Nice.
You take
The mini roll.
7 points of fire damage as this small creature just exhales a gout of flame, engulfing you briefly. And it's gonna fly up in like above you. It's just kind of hovering, with its wings beating.
Yeah.
After that, Kruk, is your go.
Nice. Right.
Try hit it. I dare you, bitch. See what happens.
As if I'm not going to. I've got a feeling this is going to be the
It's
fight.
also, I don't know, fucking flying.
I'll be fine. I think this is going to be the fight where I get incapacitated, I have a feeling.
I think it's the fight where we all die because of your dumbass.
Hey, right, okay. So it's flying. How far up was it flying? I guess it can't be flying that much, can it?
It's about 10 feet off the ground.
Right.
It's about to the fucking ceiling.
The ceiling is pretty high. This room, the ceiling is probably about 20 feet above you.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Alright.
I wouldn't be surprised if we couldn't hit it.
It seems to hit rather hard with this thing. I'm guessing that my range won't do anything against its attacks, will it?
I mean, you can't, like, you'd have to melee it, you'd have to jump up on the railing and then jump at it.
Ugh, God.
So you'd have disadvantage.
Good.
So,
But my rage would cancel it out, so I'll just be straight rolling, wouldn't I?
if you reckless attack, yeah.
Steph, run.
Just
fucking
I
run.
don't know if I've
Well, I was thinking of something, but he's in the fucking way.
Exactly.
I don't know if
Move.
I don't know if I want to attack this thing, to be honest. It seems a bit too strong to be risking that. Right.
I'll try it.
I've got a feeling I'm definitely going to go down here.
We're all going to go down.
Oh, you can run off then if you're going to die. Right.
Run yourself. What are you doing?
I'm not running away, no chance.
You're going to die.
Yeah, I'm not running away.
It's not even going to be the fact of, oh, you're going to be unconscious. You're going to get melted.
It's okay. Right. Okay. I'm going to try and make a swing at it then by jumping off the railing.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So it's not very big. This is what it looks like, though.
That's cool.
That's fine.
Oh, that's
it's,
fine. Yeah.
I know those guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's honestly not that worrying.
They're elemental creatures.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of them.
No.
I thought it was going to be like more demonic looking.
No, they yeah, basically, this thing is entirely made out of magma.
You're going to die. You do not have any elemental resistance, do you?
No.
Right then, run.
It's
No.
it's about 4 feet tall, but it's flying above you.
It's half the size of me.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
But it
It
also
could
makes
still
hail
bloody
flames.
kill
Yeah,
you.
fine.
It's made out of magma. Please understand this.
Yeah,
I want to point out, I'd probably be rubbish against this.
Yeah, probably.
Fire
You'd like to make
doesn't
it
match
worse.
fire.
Yeah.
You'd like to make it worse if you were afraid. Well, the thing is though, it's like it's like my skin's made of stone sometimes.
Sometimes.
Not anymore. You use it.
Yeah, I know, I've already used it sometimes.
And what? How many hit points do you want again?
16.
I have chromatic orb and magic missile.
Right, okay, magic missile.
That's probably the only thing.
He's
that
not
damage
with
this
us.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
I'm fucking swinging for it.
I have control fire.
Alright,
Make it slap itself.
Steph, help.
Right.
What do you want me to do?
I'm just gonna make a regular swing at it
All right.
with my axe.
All right. So that you have to jump off the railing, so that will be disadvantage because you're basically trying to hit it in midair.
Yeah. Okay. What's the do for disadvantages? Can I forget?
Roll twice, take the lowest.
Oh shit, is there? Right. Okay. Oh.
Well,
Yeah, 3. Definitely missed.
3 plus what?
your attack.
My attack. That'd be, I'm forgetting. Yeah, 9 then.
Why are you seeing the same one?
No,
The
nine-
most
nine
sane
misses.
person in the group.
The one that's actually
Sorry,
being like shouting, saying stuff at me.
Fucking run!
Yeah. As you kind of like try and like leap and like swing it, it kind of like flaps and beats away and goes. And just
Jesus
screams.
Christ! I wasn't expecting that from you, G.
I do a lot of voices, but my voice has been wrecked for weeks, so I've not had a chance to do them.
I'm taking advantage
That's
of
not even a voice, that's a fucking hiss!
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's all I can do, isn't it?
Yeah, unless you've got a bonus action you can use.
I don't know if we've got them.
I don't know.
You can move away.
You can fucking run!
I've already used my move action.
You've used a little bit of it.
I was about to say you jumped, so...
Can I
Run?
Yeah, I'll move back a bit from it.
I'll say move 20 feet.
I'll move the 20 feet away from it. I'm not running away from it. I'm just gonna back off a bit.
All right. Then it is the Necron's turn. So you see coming out of the crucible after it, you see another creature, the one you saw previously, made of steam. This one similarly flies out, kind of taking to the sky. This one looks a little bit more frail, but not by much. And this one kind of similarly flies over you.
They can both fly.
Yeah, they've got wings.
Technically, you're flying.
That's
Yeah, you're
not
flying
the
as well.
fucking point. I'll fly away.
Make another dexterity saving throw.
Why do I have to make another one? Fucking hell.
Because you're going to die.
15.
You succeed. So this time it flies over you and exhales a gout of steam.
Alright, now I will admit, I
scalding
don't
you.
think there's much chance of us hitting this one. I'll admit that.
You might hit the other one. Losing your goddamn arm.
Just one. Okay.
Do you realise
take-
how hot magma is?
Well, yeah.
You're kind of expecting this time. You managed to kind of duck out of the way. You take 2 fire damage.
I still take damage. Jeez.
Yeah. So
Yes!
Right. It's not. I just take it, don't I? It doesn't get after
They're
anything.
not exactly
That is
solid
Oh, it is
creatures.
half.
that's already half.
Oh, is it?
Because you succeeded.
Right.
And that one's similarly going to hover 10 feet above, but that one's going to start flying towards you guys. Lucifer, it's your turn. There is a impish figure made out of steam drawing closer to you as you hover 10 feet off the ground.
Steam's water, isn't it?
Yeah.
Last time I checked.
Yeah.
So if I use lightning law,
I like how you're trying to use logic.
yeah. So if I use lightning law, that shit's gonna sting.
Or
Or
make
we
it
could
worse.
run.
Or you can make it worse. You might turn into a
You can
lightning
do
steam
both.
thing.
You can attack and then use movement.
Well, yeah. What I was actually thinking was to just fucking slam it on the ground or do something so then it's actually incapacitated.
Yeah, go on and do it.
So then we can run. Run with us.
I'm gonna have to move the microphone away because you're too loud.
Right, try and do lightning law.
I don't know if I should because I'll die. I'm on
do it.
7 hit points.
They seem more pissed off with me than anyone else.
That's why I don't want to piss them off. I want to fucking leave.
Yeah, so the steam one is a little bit more difficult to see, but it kind of looks like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you have more trouble seeing that one against like the steam that's billowing out of the crucible, but it's far enough away that it's like relatively visible to you.
Is this one like an actual D&D monster, or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steamy boys.
Would it be counted as a bonus action to try yell to intimidate them? Or would it be counted as my full action?
Bonus action, because speaking is a free action, but making ability checks is usually like bonus action or action. So
Okay.
I'll say bonus action.
I want to try and intimidate them first.
Okay. Roll intimidate. Let's see.
Fuck. That's an 8.
Some good rolls today, all around.
Yeah, no, they both kind of squint and hiss at you. The magma ones like kind of has a more guttural feeling, and the steam ones literally sound like steam escaping from a small gap when they screech at you. Yeah, they also kind of chuckle.
I'm gonna have to use false life because otherwise I am fucked.
Are you still on low health, are you?
Yeah. Hence why we're kind of, well, used to are fine.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm just gonna die, so, you know, we're all gonna die, but
Burial's not. It's not even the.
I'm gonna be fine.
you're gonna come back and no one's gonna be alive.
Yeah, I'm
just so you know.
I'm just gonna find a pile of dead corpses and be like, well, he's gonna
There's
find
not
some
gonna be
others.
corpses, there's gonna be magma. I don't think you guys understand.
Dust and ash.
It's not even dust and ash, it's fucking liquid. Fuck me. Right. Screw it, we're gonna die anyway. Lightning law.
Alright, so he makes a strength save. Is that against the steam one? He's not very strong.
I was going to say, you can't be that too strong because he's kind of steam.
What's the save DC on that?
Pardon?
14, okay.
Yeah.
He rolled a nat 1 with a -3, so that's a natural -2.
And I'm pulling him towards me, and he was already quite close because he was heading towards us.
Yeah, I'll say he's probably about. Yeah, so you can get within the range of your damage thing.
All right.
Like whilst it doesn't conduct particularly effectively, it doesn't it barely gives any resistance to being pulled. It's like and you kind of crush it with the kind of the lightning and then you wrench it forwards.
Okay, so that's 1d8. Would he get anything else because it was a 1?
No.
Okay.
Crits only technically exist on attack rolls, but
Yeah. 7.
nice. Yeah, you see the crackle of lightning kind of rips through his wispy form, or its wispy form. They don't really have genders, really, the elementals. Right, so 7 damage, nice. Alright, so you have your move and your bonus. Actually, you used bonus. Actually, you've got your move left if you want to use it.
Okay, I want to move away from it as far as I can so that Reaver can actually do some shit.
Okay, are you going to land on the platform or are you going to still stay in the air?
I'll stay in the air still, just in case.
As a point of reference, like, if you want to, you can hang over the empty space.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you just levitate.
Yeah, like, it's not gonna, like, fucking go anywhere, so yeah.
No, I'd say you have probably at least half an hour left on that
Yeah.
turn, so you've got loads of time. The one thing I will say though is if you're incapacitated, you will fall.
Yeah, but you're going next, aren't you?
You don't know.
It's about to say, because it would make sense because they've all moved, if I'm not wrong. Like, that one
so.
tried to actually move towards you. The magma guy tried to get you. So it would make sense that Reaver's going next.
Probably, yeah.
So I'm going to chance it. Fucking kill it.
Alright, so that's the end of your turn.
Yeah.
Another steam creature.
Yeah.
What the
Oh,
I love how much you're freaking out with these guys.
It's just like we're going to die.
Um,
You fucked us over.
But I'm sort of banking on the fact that I'm hoping they don't have very much health. Like, how much did that steam one actually take any damage?
7.
7 damage.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh shit. Okay.
That's
So, I just realised
That's
some
always
stuff on
something
this
good to
guy.
hear.
That's not a good thing to hear. We're going to die.
These things are great. I've used them like I don't use them often.
Methods.
But they're
That's
they're
what they're
fun.
called, methods.
They are called methods.
It very much sounds like you're saying meth heads.
They're that too.
Yeah.
Methods more like Muppets.
I think this is actually probably the first time in this campaign I think that more than one of us is actually probably fucked.
And whose fault was that?
Well, mine. I think me and you are fucked, to be honest with you.
Yeah!
Hang on. I've got to quickly look up a thing. Give me one second.
If it was more than fucking 7, oh.
Gotta check a spell. I forgot they had
He's
spells.
doing a spell? Are you kidding?
No,
They're
have
elementals, that's all they can do.
minor spells. I mean, minor.
He's just gonna be like fucking fireball.
Okay, he's not going to use that yet. But that's good to know. Alright, so... that one is also going to fly out and use its steam breath on Kruk.
Thank God.
So
You deserve this
make
shit.
another deck saving
Because
throw.
he's closer.
Another
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And another one.
Ah, one again.
One. Nice. You only take 4 fire damage as it blasts you with steam.
Seriously, these green dice are unlucky for me. I've used them 3 times, and every time I've done horrible with them.
I think you've done them wrong somehow.
Perhaps I like these dice as well. They're a nice colour.
Alright,
They don't
so
like you.
With that, Reaver, it's your turn.
Okay.
Fucking kill it. Please.
They have to fail first.
Actually, fucking aim for Kruk.
He might
Just
be caught
go.
in the way of it.
That's my point. He will deserve this shit.
Shush. Go back to drawing.
He's going to die
Go back to
anyway.
drawing. Go back to drawing. So I assume with the 60-foot code I can get all 3 easily.
You can do, but you will also get Kruk.
Is there no
Yes.
way that I can angle it?
Were you flying when you did the landing there?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe. Make.
Because it's a 60-foot cone.
It is a cone.
It's a coon.
I'm wondering how much you could angle it out without. Actually, yeah, I reckon you could. Like you can,
Yeah?
you can probably I'd
Right.
say because they're flying like at least 5 feet above Kruk. You can probably like angle up. It would be-
Yeah, he did have to jump to be fair.
How many charges did you spending?
All of them.
Okay, so.
Oh,
2d6.
thank God.
So they all have to make intelligence saving throws.
They have to make a saving throw of 10.
Okay. How smart are these guys?
Smart. Very smart.
Okay. That one's got that and cool. That's good.
That's good. That's good. They all, like, you die.
I'm not liable to disclose that information. Alright, so that is one of the steam methods passes,
Takes
one of them
half.
fails, and the Magmorn also fails.
So one of them takes half. Is that the one that I hit?
We'll see. I'll do
We'll see, guys.
Alright, so if the grey one's higher, it's the one next to you that succeeded. It is the one next to you that succeeded.
Hell yeah. Wait, no,
probably-
that's bad.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that is good
That's the one you
because
damaged.
yeah, he's already got
I
damage
also have to
anyway.
roll high on 2 1d6s.
This is a steam one, yeah.
It's 1d6 per 2 charges,
Yeah,
spent with
and you
B2.
got
4. A 6 and a 5.
Nice. So yeah, you watch as Riva kind of like pulls back her hood, and then like you see kind of her eyes scintillate with these rainbow colours as blaring, like blasting out of her eyes is this cone of psionic energy, and you see all the mechs kind of clutch their heads in anguish as you fry their brains.
Hooray!
So they take 11 damage. That's pretty good.
How many of them have taken damage?
2 took 11,
And one
and
of
the
them's already
steam one closest to him took half of that. Which is fine.
And that's either 5 or 6, depending on how Jake's
I think
feeling.
it rounds down.
Yeah,
So
damage
five.
by default rounds down.
So that'll be, he's taking 12 damage in that one.
And the other 2 have taken 11.
Yeah, so
It's not bad though.
yeah, they all look
It
pretty
worked
shaken
for
by
once.
that.
Yeah.
They all look pretty shaken by that. And yeah, they're all kind of much more wary of you now. You have a bonus action to move left.
I want to go towards. You said there was another door?
There's another on the opposite side of the room,
Crap.
which is probably about like 50 feet away. It's a big room.
I can't really do anything. Maybe run up to the control panel again and pull levers.
Alright. Make an investigation check again.
I think it was like +2. 12.
Okay.
I'm starting to get the hang of this, guys.
You figure out some of the controls, but you can't quite get the lid down on this turn, I don't think. But you're on your way there. So,
Well,
whatever Krug did to match the controls.
They've got. It's clear. They've got
I have a
spawn
feeling
down
that if we
there.
don't put the lid down, more of them might start coming out.
So that is your turn. Now it's the Mag Boy's turn, who is going to. Krug, what on your person is made of metal?
Oh.
One person's made of metal.
Axes.
It's my weapons, isn't it?
Yeah.
I took like the helmet off the head.
Because you don't wear any armor.
No.
Okay. How many of those weapons are like strapped to you?
Just be my index. They're not strapped to me. They're just like. I guess they sort of are.
How many weapons do you have?
I've got 3 weapons.
Okay. Just because I need to look at the spell really quick. Alright.
Is it heat metal?
It is heat metal.
Oh god. You're fucked if you don't get the metal off.
You're fucked either way.
Yeah, I know. But I'm alright with it because it's my fault.
To be fair, it is like Kruks for him.
Yeah, the things that I'm not.
Now that another one's appeared, Creek's probably going, I probably should have done that.
No, Krug is fine with this because just saying I'm not running. Like, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. I'm not running away.
To steam imps and a fire imp.
No, I'm not doing it because that's part of Krug's character. He's not running away from it.
Alright, so the magma method kind of like stops clutching its head and kind of points at the axe you're holding, which starts to glow red hot, and the heat of it kind of like starts burning your hands, even like without even touching the metal.
Right.
You take what is it? Yeah. You take 7 fire damage and make a Constitution saving throw.
This is a bit extreme. Bloody hell.
Do you think?
He has +6 in Constitution.
18.
18. So, as the kind of heat burns your hands, you manage to keep a grip of your weapon despite the pain. If you'd failed, you would have dropped the weapon.
Wow.
So yeah, that is currently a thing that is happening to you. All right, that's thing's turn. It's gonna stay in the air. Then it is Kruk, your turn.
Right, good. So they're all wounded, aren't they now?
They are. They all seem. Yes.
Very bad headaches.
Right. So it's just like my axe is now really
I'm
fucking
so happy
hot.
my thing worked.
So I think would fire do anything? Would like heat do anything to steam? Wouldn't do anything, would it? It's just made.
You know.
The magical ones pissed me off though. The magical ones hit me 3 times now.
Twice.
Twice.
It
Right.
fire breathed you, and then it set your axe.
Okay. I don't have my stone skin.
No.
My rage doesn't do anything against the damage.
No.
I'm on 4 health.
Yeah.
I'm going to reckless attack it because I think I'm going to go down either way.
Are you on 4 health?
Yeah, I'm on 4 health.
Oh, for God's sake.
All right. Make an attack roll flat.
Come on. Don't be a dickhead, dice. You've been a dick all day. 12 plus 6, 18.
18 hits.
Good.
Easily. Roll damage.
Is there going to be any point when I'll have an opportunity to like increase my charges?
I think I might make that a feat. So you can either, but when you get level 4, I might give you the opportunity to like instead of ability score increases, you can either increase the number of charges,
Right.
or you can learn another manifestation.
Alright.
Do
Big.
both.
14.
14, nice. That's the magma one. Thankfully, you fucking smash it in its head. However,
I'm guessing it doesn't
as you jump
die.
up, you kind of leap and cleave through it, kind of splitting the magma apart.
It's magma.
However,
well, I've got a feeling like my weapon's fucked now.
when it dies, it explodes.
Oh, it does die. Good, but I'm gonna go. Oh, okay. If it dies from blowing up, that's fine.
These guys could be
It
worse.
explodes in a burst of lava.
I'm gonna guess he's toning down.
Each creature within 5 feet of it must make a DC 11 dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, I'm fucked.
They have the ability to
Wait, so is it
summon
just
copies of themselves.
Oh, Shiza. Oh,
Yeah.
what? So it's like it's a slime. It's a magma cube. It's not. Right.
No, not when they die or anything, just randomly.
Right.
Yeah.
So, right. So,
Make a dex save.
right. Just the thing is though, is it just does it just like evaporate? Is it gone?
It explodes, yeah.
He wants the head.
Yeah. I don't think it'd be quite dangerous to have.
No, it fucking detonates.
Just like douse it in water every day. All right. Okay. I think I'm fucked here. I'm
Like
full
cooling
now.
down.
All right. This has been a dickhead all day. This dice.
It's not a high DC.
18
You
plus
pass.
1, 19.
You didn't take half damage, which is 3.
Yes, I'm on 1 health.
Yeah. So as you kind of cleave your axe through it, this kind of like it explodes and the lava kind of plasters you briefly. You're covered in this like sizzling hot magma as you shake it off when you land. But yeah, you have 20 feet of movement left and a bonus action.
Right.
But you are nearly dead. Your axe stops glowing.
Right. Okay.
Once you kill the thing.
I'm fine. I'm alright.
All right.
Could I got a feeling that my weapon's gonna go fuck all to the steam ones.
No, you want something for your
'Cause
channel?
The vapors.
This is one of those stories I was talking about.
It's just the vapors. Bonus action. Could I? How far away from the steam ones am I? From both of them.
Probably at least 15 to 20 feet, I reckon.
All right.
And you'd have to jump again because they're pretty high up.
Could I throw one of my hand axes at one of them as a bonus action?
Not throw. I would say. I think like I think offhand attacks you have to make melee, but I could be wrong.
Is there anything else I could do to damage them? That's it.
I mean, you've taken your action, so like not really, but.
Do you not do rage or anything anymore?
No, I am raging.
Alright.
But really all it's doing at the moment
I
is
love
just,
how that's just like now a default.
it's just really all it's doing is letting me use reckless attack and give me +2 damage. That's really all it's doing at the moment because it doesn't half any damage from these guys.
Unless you picked well, when you level up, you can pick a subclass of barbarian that gives you resistance.
Could I? So they're about 15-20 feet away.
Yeah.
Right. Kruk is no coward. He's not stupid either. So he's
Being -1 intelligence says otherwise.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Right. He's gonna move away from them.
Alright.
Oh, now you learn.
I was about
No,
to
I'm
say,
not running away.
the
I'm just
fact
moving away.
that we're in this situation says otherwise.
Oh, come on! They're probably not even that far away from dying.
We're all going
Because
to
of
die
us.
because of someone.
I'm the one who's killed one so far.
Thanks to the help of us.
Thanks to the help of.
Thanks to the help of me.
I was about to say,
Yeah. The one is dead. That's the thing. You have to worry about the fire one anymore. You deal with the steam ones. Don't be all.
We don't know that yet.
I was about to say,
There's a
you
reason
also
I'm
got
trying to shut
helped with Reaver, and
Yeah.
now she's trying to shut the damn thing that you opened.
That's in your turn. It is the last, one of the steam methods. I think it was the one that was really damaged, so it was the one. Yes, it is the one next to you, Lucifer. So that one.
Bye, guys.
So long.
You did float away.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Saying good night.
How wounded do you look?
He's on 7 health
Yeah.
from 25.
Yeah.
How did you lose all? Oh yeah, the beating, didn't you?
Yeah, you got beat up.
Yeah, because the beating.
Yeah, this thing's pretty beat up as well. So it's gonna, so as you kind of like see it, You see its body kind of shift and kind of blur as it becomes kind of like the steam kind of evaporates a little bit. It's still there, but you think you'd have a lot more trouble trying to hit it. And as it does that, it's going to.
Oh, it's the fucking shadow thing again.
It flies upwards out of your reach. You get an opportunity attack if you have a melee weapon.
I have
Sickle and a
sickle and daggers.
You can try to attack it with one of those if you want to.
Yes.
Make a attack roll at disadvantage because it is in a small blur.
18.
That's a shame if you roll something shit now. Yeah,
Two.
that's it. That's a shame.
Alright, yeah, you missed. So it seems to like it's wounded too, so it's kind of like getting out of your way. It is now your turn.
I want to bring it back down.
Okay.
Fucking lightning and all that shit. I'm done.
So it makes a strength save.
Wait, actually. How, like, around me.
Yeah. What's the range on lightning, by the way?
15 feet.
Exactly range. You'd have to like kick off the walls.
Okay. Then instead, how, like, is there any more around me in a 1 sec?
Oh! Schmick's still with me.
Oh! Smick's not been pulling his weight.
I don't think he should even be involved with this fight, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
No.
How
Just
many?
Stay in the corner, baby. Stay in the hole. Little hole.
I mean, considering the weak attacks could, well, pretty much kill him.
I'll just use Toll the Dead around it. Okay. It's a cantrip, so I can't really do freaking lightning law.
So that's a wisdom save, right?
Yeah.
It fails.
Alright. And it takes a D8 narcotic.
D12 because it's already damaged.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
I completely forgot about
come
that.
on, roll high.
That's a D10.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Well, no.
There we go. 7.
Nice. It is grievously wounded as you hear like it hears this like dolorous kind of,
So this one has a migraine now.
Yeah.
yeah, and you see it kind of like even in its blurred form, you see it kind of like wither a little bit. It is very badly hurt. It's also going to make a con save to maintain concentration on that spell. It succeeds. It is still blurred. Alright, so with that is Steam Method number 2, who is currently flying in the middle and was harassing Krug. It does have its Steam Breath back, but I think it's going to stab you first.
Stabby stab. Have fun. What does it actually? It's pretty wounded. It doesn't really want to get close to you. Like you can see, it has like these kind of wicked claws, but it doesn't seem to. None of them have used them against you yet. So it is going to make a dexterity saving throw.
Right, is this for the claws?
No, this is the Steam Breath again.
Of course it is. Because if it was the claws, wouldn't I get like wouldn't my rage work against the claws?
Maybe, you don't know.
Alright then, this is where I'm gone now. See you later, because I'm gonna roll a 1 now. Yeah, I'm fucked. 5.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm down now.
Yeah, you take 6 damage.
Yeah.
Not enough to like permanently KO you, but like it kind of flies down, breathes steam over you, and you're kind of like overwhelmed by the heat of it and collapse.
Right, do I have to start making death saving throws now?
Next turn you will.
Next turn, right, okay.
Is now your turn, Reba.
I'm going to fire my bow at the one that's near Kruk.
Right, attack roll.
8.
8 misses.
Damn it.
It kind of beats, swings, and flaps to the side as the arrow whistles past.
James, where the fuck are you?
No! I could be on the bloody side of the other side of the mountain by now.
I wasn't expecting you guys to start a combat encounter now, so like.
Could I use like my movement and my bonus action to like keep pressing things on the freaking?
You use your bonus action, yeah.
Yeah.
Investigation check.
13.
13, I think, after a few couple goes is enough to like start closing it.
Oh, thank gosh.
But yeah.
We don't even know if it's useful, to be fair, but it's better than nothing. So yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, so that's your turn. Unless you want to move.
Away from.
Okay.
I was about to say,
You
would
can
it?
move around the other side of the crucible, or
Yeah, the side where the door is.
okay.
I was about to say, would it like really matter if like you kept pressing it? Because it could be like a button mashing thing where you're like.
Oh no! In a minute.
Press everything.
Press everything.
Alright, so with that.
That's what happened, and look where we are.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Make a flight saving throw.
Right, how does this work? 'Cause I've not seen
Roll
this
a
go.
d20.
Roll a d20, and if
Yes.
you get a 10 or higher, you mark a success.
Alright. I'm not going to because this dice.
Why don't you just use one of ours?
Nah, I'm going to stick with it now. Right, fail this.
I do like your sparkly dark ones.
Yeah.
15, right there.
Okay, so
that's
mark
a
the
success.
little box
They're also
there.
working quite well.
Probably want to do it in pencil because you don't.
Yeah.
Those don't stay after you become.
You just got and pencil. Use.
Penicillins.
Right.
Alright, so you're currently unconscious on the ground.
Yes.
I like how Reva's also just like bye.
It is Steam Method 1, the one next to, well, the one flying above bloody Lucifer, who's gonna, hang on, let's see if he his Steam Breath. Fucking hell he does, okay. So, Lucifer, make a dexterity saving throw. These guys are not gonna get close if they don't have to.
What's the range?
14.
14 succeeds, you take half damage.
Thank God.
Like, what's the range on their steam breath?
You take 5 fire damage. It's a 15
I
foot
want
cone.
to.
15 foot.
Yeah.
How far? Like, what's the range on it?
It's a 15 foot cone.
Moving
Shouldn't I have been out of range?
I know what. No, it's
Flies
fine.
down.
I know what I'm doing.
right,
So they've got 30 feet fly speed.
Yeah,
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 so
yeah.
What?
They can do a vomit run.
Right.
No, I'm gonna pop one.
Oh, what are you going to say? Okay.
Yeah, so it flies within like 10 feet of you, steams you, and then flies away.
Is that enchilada?
Alright, it's your turn.
Okay. 1 sec.
Okay. This will be fine. Bye. Hello. Bye. How long do you think this is going to
It's 10 to 5 now.
So like an hour and a half, well, about 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
I want to use false life, so that's +4 plus a b4.
I realise I probably should take them outside.
That's fine.
I got a 7.
7, 10.
Hell yeah. So I'm 9.
Well, you got 7 temp head, or you can do the normal hit points.
Yeah.
So make sure you track those separately. I've been
I will,
spammed. Oh, Bethan's turn.
So can I use my move to just move away to the door?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I like how we're just leaving Krug.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
You can. I'm sorry, dude. Like you brought it on yourself.
And like I said, this is why I didn't run away at all.
Alright, so if that's your turn, it is Steam Method number 2. Who just breathe on Kruk to make him die.
To make him die, guys. Come on.
He doesn't recharge his Steam Breath. So he's going to fly down and try and claw Reaver.
Great.
They're pretty feeble though, so it's probably fine.
Probably.
Yeah. Alright, what the fuck is the D20? There it is. Alright.
Swear to God, if you roll high.
Does a 21 hit?
Oh my.
Fucking hell.
Roll a 19. They've got +2. They're not that good. I swear to God. They're like this. These guys are like quarter CR. All right. So,
Are they better than the Shadow Mastiff?
no,
Fucking.
there's three of them, but they're really weak. Well, they should be. All right. So that is 2d4. As you feel the kind of what the fuck. I rolled max damage. That's 8 damage.
I think that is Lucifer's
Yeah.
also down.
You feel.
What?
That's not loose for that.
No, that's
Oh,
Reaver.
Reaver, right.
I was about to say it. I've still got my.
So it
max.
kind of sweep the kind of swoops down and starts kind of raking at your skin, and you kind of feel like the claws dig in, but you're also like scalded by the steam. And yeah, that's its turn. It's flying directly in front of you.
Can I stab it with my rapier, please?
It is your turn, so yes.
Yes.
Actually, this will be a good test to see if, it does anything. Just regular weapons.
Oh, yeah, I have to see if
Because
I
I
actually
didn't actually hit any steam ones.
11.
11 hits.
Yay!
Well, my Larry seems really low then.
Yeah, like the
6!
nice. You don't get sneak attack because there's no one next to you and you don't have advantage, so that's just that. So
I'm
6
next
plus
to
what's your
her
dex,
at
what's your
the-
dex modifier?
Wasn't I next to her because she went through the door and I went for the
Oh,
door?
it's actually 8 because
She's on the other
plus,
side.
Oh,
plus
right.
2 piercing, which I didn't add on, so it's actually 8.
Alright, cool. 8 damage.
Plus-
That one is very badly wounded. Oh, actually, hang on. That one's dead.
Right,
Thank
they use
God.
some damage from
So you kind of like this thing was like pretty wounded. So as you kind of like pierce through its chest with the rapier, it too explodes in a cloud of steam.
Damn it!
Make a dexterity saving throw.
You should have shot it.
It was right
21,
next
it was right
to
in
her.
front of me.
That was a flying success. You still take half damage, which is 2 fire damage.
Okay, I'm on 3.
As you kind of pierce, you kind of like bring up your cloak to kind of shield you from the blast of steam. Still scalds you, but not as bad as it could have done. All right, that is. So you have a bonus action and a move left.
I want to move to the fucking door
All right,
and bang on it.
cool. It doesn't seem to be open yet.
Stopping the voices of heroes.
Oh, that's the point. I'll come back to that in a second.
If you fucked us now.
Lucifer, you've got the crystal, get over here.
All right, so speaking of, so Kruk, make another death saving throw.
Yeah.
Oh.
No problem. I'm going to start feeling them now. 17. No, that's a success. Isn't it?
Nice.
I think the dice don't want you to die, they want to torture you a bit more.
Nah, Kruk is fine with this.
So one thing you'll need to watch out for is if you get a nat 20, you come back to life on 1 hit point. If you roll a nat 1, you instantly fail 2 death saves.
Fuck.
Right, okay. Wait, how much health do I come from?
1.
1.
Alright.
So basically, you stop bleeding out just enough to wake up.
Right.
If you just succeed 3, you're unconscious but stable. So you've been knocked out, but you're not dying. Is basically that state.
Right.
But you can't do anything unless you get heals, or you wait an hour. At which point, after that, you regain 1 hit point. So, Lucifer, it's your turn.
Okay.
Lucifer, buddy, we
Yeah.
gotta open the door.
Crystal door. Because I'm near it.
You're on the opposite side of the room.
I swear I said I wanted to move to the door, didn't I?
You move well. So the room is 50 feet long. Reaver was out the crucible and went beyond that to the other door.
Yeah.
I assume you went back to the first door.
Fuck, so.
Even
Okay.
if you hadn't, you would have had to push off the wall and like float, and you would have only got about at least halfway to the middle of the room
Okay.
at best. So you can say you're there if you want to, but you won't be able to get to the other door.
Yeah. Is there any enemies near me?
The last steam effort is about 20 feet away from you.
That's the only one left.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to use fucking dissonant whispers as well because.
Oh shit! Is that a wisdom saving throw or?
1 sec. Wisdom saving throw.
Cool. These guys aren't.
I'm
very
done
well.
with this shit.
I'm just going to check if he has any initiatives to that. He might do. Nope. Okay, 16. I think he passes.
Yeah.
Does he take any damage on a success?
1 minute. Half as much damage and doesn't have to move away. So
Okay, so yeah. So what's the damage?
it's 3d6 psychic.
Where am I?
Give me your d6s, boys.
You might kill him.
I want to. I'm done with this shit.
Triple 1.
5, 4, and 2.
Yeah.
Nine.
So
I like
that's
how yours is
11.
the lowest.
Yeah. Of course it is. Yeah. It's fucking.
That's
these dice.
11. So that's half. That's
5.
yeah.
He's looking pretty beat up. Again, he's like, what the fuck is this noise in my head? Do any of you speak Primordial?
1 minute.
I'm guessing I don't. I only speak 6 languages.
You're unconscious.
Yeah.
I do.
I was just speaking.
You speak the language of unconscious.
Yeah.
I speak primordial.
You hear it cursing in probably Ignan, which is the fire dialect.
All right. Can I just? Well, is that the one I attacked on? No.
Yes.
All right.
Are you
I
going
want
to
to.
like flip off in their language?
No, because I've got a bonus action, aren't I?
Yeah.
Can I intimidate him in primordial?
Sure.
Just fuck him off. I'm done with this shit.
You have advantage because he's badly wounded and you're using his own language.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm rolling. That's a 12. That's an unnatural 18.
Okay.
This crazy old man's yelling at me in my own language.
Done.
And he's shaken by your words. Like
Fucking move.
it sounds like yeah. So that's your, unless you want to move.
I'll try and move like closer to Reaver.
Okay. So make a athletics check. You're going to try and push off the big column in the middle.
5.
Okay. So I'm gonna say you probably move about 10 feet. So
Yay.
you're about 25 feet away from Reba. Ish.
I'm above ground now, though, aren't I?
Yeah, you're above the gangplank.
Okay.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case. Just fucking move.
Right.
I'm done.
It is the last Doom effort's turn. That doesn't recharge, so it is still thoroughly spooked.
Spooky boys.
As like the column's descending, it's like desperately trying to like fly back in. It's gonna have to make a dex check, otherwise it'll make it crushed.
Please get crushed.
Please. I'm done.
It's a fine roll. Roll that one. So you see, kind of like it kind of gets him like its wings kind of like prevent it from like seeping in, and as the thing kind of like finally kind of settles on, you see a burst of steam on the other side of the column
Ooh.
as it explodes.
Nice.
You are now out of initiative. However, well, we're not actually out of initiative technically.
Yeah, because after saying.
You still have to roll a death save. So Reaver, it's your turn.
Can I get him in time to stabilize him?
Yes, I think so actually, because if you, because you're second level, aren't you? So you've got cunning action.
Yes.
So you can, if you dash, you can get to him and still have your action. Because you've got your bonus action dash and your movement. So.
Then I shall dash and stabilize.
All right. So make a medicine check. You need at least 10.
Yeah.
17
Yeah.
plus 4.
So Kruks, you are stable.
Yes.
You're still unconscious, but you're not dying.
You don't need to do just
Yeah. So I'm alright then now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Rub it out.
Just rub it around. And you're on 1 hit point, innit?
No, he's still
No, he's
unconscious.
just still unconscious.
If you have like a herbalism kit or a medicine kit, then
I have first aid kit. I still have it.
then you
I
might
love
have
how excited you got. Just.
Yeah. Is that part of your starting kit, or is that something you found?
I bought it from the general store
You
because
did,
of
didn't you? Yeah.
freaking walk.
Make another medicine check.
Fuck. 7.
Yeah. No,
7 plus 4.
you're trying to tend to his wounds, but like they're all like scalds and like burns, and you're like, I already have the. What do I put on here?
I have ointment. Here you go.
Yeah. So like you're kind of like smearing ointment on his wounds, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything. He seems okay, but like he's not waking up.
We don't know what the fuck.
Alright, so
I'll be honest with you, I'm quite surprised we survived that.
You're welcome.
Was that, well, I'm guessing, was this encounter perhaps meant for more people, or
Did
are
I do
they-
the most damage?
or did you like perhaps tone them
depends.
down a bit?
it wasn't planned.
I wasn't. Oh right.
I came up with that on the fly. Because well,
You did well.
there's reasons why they would be there, but like I wasn't expecting you to find them in this room. So I was like, oh, you know what, that kind of makes sense. And yeah, they just have like they're not like nastier than stuff you fought in terms of like difficulty wise, but like they have just like they've got some nasty abilities that are very different to what you've faced before.
We noticed.
So in the last half hour, I think we're going to cut quickly to burial before we finish off.
Oh, none of helps today. This is...
A fight that you started.
Yeah. So where the fuck is burial? Yeah. So as you follow the other route through this kind of narrow corridor, this maintenance tunnel, you head up a set of kind of metal stairs, and yeah. So as you kind of pass through, you can see like grating on like on your right side. You can see kind of through it this kind of these several like rooms you can see from a distance. One of them you see this kind of crucible similar to the one that these guys see, but they're not in the room. That one is glowing brighter and has a kind of glass.
Don't open it.
I can't reach it.
Yeah, you're kind of like up in the ceiling, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you can see this kind of on the glass side of it. You can see like there's like some sort of molten, like you don't know if it's magma or metal, something being pumped inside the crucible.
Okay.
And stuff happening inside it. As you keep moving forward, you kind of see into another room, which is kind of odd. Like you see a lot of kind of these glass glass cylinders filled with this kind of viscous, kind of reddish liquid that's kind of transparent. And you see kind of figures bobbing in them in these kind of like large kind of metal capped like canisters. These vats, and like you see this kind of dotted around the room, and in the middle you see this kind of this table, this kind of stone plinth with various instruments scattered across it, and you see a number of kind of holographic displays on the side of the rooms as well, which is not something you're used to seeing. And you see in the middle of the room one of the cultists arguing. Again, they don't seem to get along. Arguing with these creatures that shot at you when you fell into the maintenance tunnel. What's your passive perception?
You seem to argue with these creatures quite a lot.
13.
Yeah, they're not very agreeable people. 13. Okay, so yeah, so you're kind of distracted as you're. Actually, I'll roll a stealth check real quick. Oh yeah. Give me a sec. Where the fuck is my D20 on? Yeah, okay. No, you see him. Alright, so as you're kind of creeping along, you see someone else is in the tunnel with you. You see this kind of like hunched over figure in this kind of cloak with this kind of large kind of floppy hat and like a wispy beard coming out from the bottom of it, kind of intently peering at the grave. And you notice this person as you're walking along. What do you do?
I prepare a fireball, but I don't throw it. I like creep up to them.
Okay, make a stealth check.
With a fireball in your eye.
Yeah.
And on the floor.
Not doing an 18, but I rolled it anyway. 12.
Okay, yes, that's exactly enough. Exactly what he needed to see you. He rolled a 12 on his perception check. So, as he's kind of like, he kind of hears like the whoosh of flame, and he kind of turns around and is like, "Orange Harry Borsak, who the fuck are you?"
I make shushing sounds. Shh, be quiet, be quiet.
He also does say, as you're doing that, he also kind of like, "Shh, who the fuck are you doing here?"
Another crazy old man.
I am Burial Oakblade. I got separated from my adventuring party.
What the nine hells are you doing here?
Well, there was this thing about cultists, and then we just got
I could
here.
see that. Look at the bastards out there.
No.
Shut the fuck up. He kind of like he kind of points his staff at you. He's like, state your intentions. Is there a fucking magic missile right in the eye?
Well, for a start, I'd like to get back together with my party, and then hopefully take down the rest of this cult.
Okay, make a persuasion check.
We have this room till 5:30, don't we?
Yeah.
And I think there's a person.
9.
You rolled a 4 on insight.
About to say like, honey, no, you're not coming.
No,
sorry.
Social looks like she's wearing a sleeping bag. But she's not, it's just a coat.
Yeah, so, he's like, bollocks! What are you really here for?
I am actually there for that. I promise. I'm telling the truth.
If anyone wants that, have it.
Yeah, no, he's kind of like, what are you doing in this tunnel? How did you find this place?
I fell into the tunnel.
Not possible.
We were fighting some of the cultists. I fell against the wall, and then it just sort of opened up behind me and then closed.
Alright, make another persuasion check at advantage this time.
Wow, I'm doing amazing double 4s.
Nice.
So that's 10.
Okay. Yeah, this time he kind of squints at you. It's like, yes, that makes sense. Still, stay back. I don't trust you.
Okay. Well, I would quite like to keep moving in this corridor.
He's like, no, go away.
Yeah, he's kind of tucked into like a corner where it kind of bends off.
Okay.
But like there is a corridor like behind him. But yeah, hang on. Okay, I'm just rolling some checks real quick. Can you make a charisma stealth check? To keep your voice down.
No.
Stop using that dice.
Yeah. 8.
Nice. He's also going to make one of those. He somehow does better. I don't know how. But yeah, as you're kind of having this hushed conversation, you see kind of like one of the dude, like not one of the cultists, one of the other dudes, kind of like looks up and is like, mm-hmm. And then like the cultist kind of like bats him around the ear as he's kind of trying to. But yeah,
That wasn't my thoughts.
Hmm?
Oh, that wasn't my thoughts.
But yeah, you see one of these creatures kind of look up and kind of like point there wherever they're holding it, like kind of roughly in a direction, and then the cultist kind of like slaps around the head as like fucking, as they kind of like, oh, you fucking pay attention, you twat. But he doesn't say that.
That we know of.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you don't know what this language they're speaking. Like the cultist seems to be speaking in kind of like broken phrases, like parroting. Like you hear like multiple different voices coming from like.
Because it's a Kenku.
Yes. They can't create their own noises. They have to copy other ones they've heard. All right. So. Yeah, he's kind of like at a stalemate with you. He's got like at this point, you've got to like do something to make him trust you, otherwise he's not gonna let you pass without like kind of standing off.
Swear up.
May I inquire as to who you are and what is your purpose here?
No.
Make a persuasion check. He's a very simple.
I'm going to
man.
use a different dice. 15 plus 3.
Yeah, he kind of like.
Oh no, plus 6. Sorry.
You see his eye twitch for a second, and he kind of like puts like lowers his staff momentarily. And he says, "Felix Stravendor, wizard." Yeah, as you get a better look at him, like you can see he's kind of like a man, probably like in his mid to late 60s, kind of like not short, he just kind of crouched down. But he's wearing this kind of these kind of loose robes and this kind of floppy wizard's hat. Like they're kind of like in like dark blues and kind of shades of purple and red. And he got this kind of like gnarled staff with this kind of like pretty kind of scuffed crystal like wedged in the top of it. And yeah, you can see as he's kind of turned to you, you also see kind of like under one armpit, you can see he's got like a book holster, where you can see like a very
Be warned, I'm armed.
Where you can see this kind of like very kind of nice looking like leather bound book, where he's kind of like hanging from one shoulder, and he's kind of he looks a little bit beaten up, like he's been in a fight recently. Which is probably why he's so on edge.
What if he's one of the magma guys?
I doubt that.
Yeah, he's hunched over, but you reckon he's probably like at least
Somewhat human.
Yeah, he's not like short. He's kind of like probably like fully stood up. He'd probably be around like close to 6 foot, if not like a few inches short. But he seems a little bit less kind of like he's coming down a little bit.
He's gonna have a goddamn heart attack if he meets Krug.
Well, we'll see who has the heart attack. But yeah, I think so. You guys coming back to you guys.
Okay.
Are you guys gonna try? You're opening the other door, aren't you?
Yes.
Trying to get
Alright,
out of the way.
So, can you guys? Are you like? What are you doing as you open the door?
Hello.
I'm still conscious.
Hello.
And I like grab Lucifer and just be like pull him in that direction to the door. So
Okay.
it opens and he goes through.
Alright, sure. So, as the door opens, Beryl from the balcony, through the grating, you see Lucifer holding a glowing crystal drift through the doorway.
Well, I found you.
We found you.
No, I found. I guess you did.
Yeah.
You see the cultists and their group of lackeys kind of turn around like, and Lucifer, you understand what they're saying. You hear them go, "Intruder, get him!"
Fuck's sake.
And yeah, that's where we're gonna end today.
Damn it! I wanted to level up.
Leveling up only takes effect on a long rest, so
I know. So it's just like, oh, you might level up this
Right,
session. You might level up this session.
Just saying that like this fight is going to be fucking rough because you're about to die, he's wounded, she's
I'm
wounded,
not.
I'm down.
I was about to say, I've still got my false life.
Oh, I
shirt,
forgot
so-
you're still down.
I'm still down.
Kruks unconscious.
I'm out of the house.
You're in the other room at least. Like, we can just come back through the door.
You come at like Jay, when do I wake up?
After an hour.
Fuck!
Think about it. Like, if you knock someone out by punching them in the head, they're not going to wake up instantly, are they?
I get punched in the head, I got burned by Steve.
Couldn't like a character go over and like try and wake him up?
I'll do my own scene
You
servant
need
to
to
mess with your
to
legs.
do that.
He needs to what?
You need to heal him to do that.
So I can't just like wake up.
Wake up.
Very good.
No.
I think
No.
the first thing I'm going to do is use the plasma cutter to fill out the netting or whatever.
Oh, that means that I'm gonna. Can you like? Can you like run away for an hour? So I can fight.
Hell to no. Fuck you. You
Not
don't
carrying
get
your
what you
heavy
want.
ass.
You don't get what you want after putting us in danger just for your own benefit. Fuck you.
There's no benefit. You still want to find something.
There's no point in fighting.
There's
Well,
always a point.
Well, the point of fighting is just to fight. That's good enough.
I mean,